here for your arraignment. You are charged with the offense of abuse of a dead human body, which is a second-degree felony, punishable by up to 15 years in state prison and a $10,000 fine. Do you understand what you are charged with?
Yes.
I don't know if people are getting the impression that we are going after Paula because she was practicing voodoo, which we're not. We're going after Paula because she removed the hand off of a body of a person that she basically didn't have permission to do.
It's an unusual aspect of our society. It is, I think most people find it perhaps revolting, frightening.
She just has totally disrespected a family that has lost a loved one.
I almost committed a suicide. She had me in just that state.
And you blame her for that?
I do.
On November 19th, 1997, a severed human hand was discovered along the shore of the Manatee River in Bradenton, Florida. Investigator Tom Petty was assigned to the case.
It began back in November 19th of 1997 when the police department was contacted by a Michael McAllister, who is a city employee, who called and said that he saw what appeared to be a human hand in the Manatee River just off the bank. We went out there, and sure enough, we found a human hand. And what was pretty interesting when we first found the hand, we're thinking, great, we got a homicide, we got someone out here cutting body parts off.
The hand was the hand of a black man.
Okay.
It was brown. It had been cleanly severed at the wrist, right through the joint, and it was well preserved.
The case was shelved for a while until June 22nd of this year, when the Manatee County Sheriff's Office ID section contacted us and told us they were able to make a match on the identity. Identity of the hand is belonging to Mr. Willie Suttle.
Mr. Willie Suttle, pictured here in this 1985 police photo, died on June 24th, 1997, 5 months prior to his hand being found. On June 26, 1998, the Bradenton Police Department exhumed Mr. Suttle's body from New Memphis Cemetery.
The whole department got kind of excited in this case because this is the first exhumation that this Bradenton Police Department has ever done.
The body, when they leave our morgue, they're placed in a heavy-duty vinyl body bag. And then that body bag is placed in the particle box. And at the time of exhumation, the particle box has undergone a certain amount of deterioration.
However, we can tell by the casket that it hadn't been tampered with, so that indicated that the hand was removed sometime between the time it left the medical examiner's office to the time that he was buried.
The only place the body had been when it left the morgue was to the funeral home and presumably directly to the gravesite. The sutures that were there from a fall that he had, steel clips were there, which helps the identification. The left hand was missing from the body and was cleanly severed. The hand that we had and the wrist matched up quite well. So we took all these x-rays, and when we were looking at the x-rays, we realized that there were these needles or small nails throughout the chest cavity and the body cavity, which really made no sense because we don't ever use those for any particular reason. And so we began to open up the body and realized that the bony chest that we put in was placed in upside down, which is something unusual. And then we began to realize that there were these little black and white, there were 12 dolls with little notes pinned to them, 11 black and 1 tan white.
I went over there as a consultant to the Bradenton Police Department and the medical examiner to analyze the dolls, especially the notes that were attached to the dolls, because I wanted to establish whether indeed this was some type of voodoo or any other practice. There were 12 dolls, about 12 to 8 inches tall. Most of them were black except for one that was white or off-white, and each of these dolls had a note attached, actually a piece of paper where a number of things had been written, The piece of paper was folded and attached with a pin to the doll.
After finding the dolls, we located Paula Green, who was the owner of the Green Funeral Home, and she came down to the police station for an interview, and after about an hour to an hour and a half of talking to her, she finally admitted to having the hand removed and placing the dolls into Mr. Suttle.
Miss Green Alberton claimed the desecration of Mr. Suttle's body was part of a helping hand ritual in which she kept the hand in her funeral home as a talisman to bring good luck and economic prosperity to her languishing business.
In many other religions, we hear about the hand of power, the right hand of God, the hand that heals, for example, healing hands. So the symbol of the hands is found in many other religions. Obviously, in this case, for her, it meant, having a hand that will help her economically. The issue is she was trying to do this by destroying other people.
Basically, from what we can make out, it would start off with the name being written 9 times, and Dr. Martinez says that the number 9 deals with death. So after she would write the name 9 times, and underneath would be this passage.
It says, "Be gone and may you rot in your grave." And then there's a name of a person mentioned after that. "Curse him as I curse him, and spoil him as I spoil him by the fire at night. By the bloody throat, by the goat, by the rum on the ground, this wanga be upon him, and he not have peace in bed, nor at his food, nor can he go and hide, waste him, and wear him, and tear him, and rot him as this rot." This meaning the doll that was actually placed inside the body cavity. So as the doll will rot, by the law of similarity, so will the person that she was hexing.
Among those cursed on the notes was Paula Green Alberton's ex-husband, Mr. Jimmy Lee Clark Sr.
So I guess she wanted my house and my place and everything, because it was already paid for when I married her.
You think maybe that she wanted to get you out of the way?
Out of the way.
Paula Green herself, although she's never actually hurt anybody, we have talked to her ex-husband, and he has brought up some things where he believes that she may have tried to poison him at one time.
My son told her that she was trying to get him to put stuff in my food to eat.
You're under the impression that she was trying to poison you?
That's right. Only that to run me crazy.
Look how my husband look sometimes. And I can tell when he's thinking about how she hurted him. Because sometimes, now he good with his hands doing things. And sometimes when he want to do something, he get confused here on account of her. And then what do I tell him? Lie down and let God bring it back to you.
She asked me how did I feel, and I told her I felt real good because I was trusting in the Lord. That's what is keeping me here.
If you were on the jury, what would you hand down to her for this crime?
For about 10 years.
That's up to God, what they give her.
It's still up to God what they give her.
Okay. If they sentence her and put her in jail, she gonna crank up. She need help.
Maybe she need to go into a rehab. I honestly feel she needs help.
You can't get her wishing this black magic out of her head by rehab. She had no training because her father died before she had training. So I think that's the biggest thing happening. She started thinking about money instead of serving the public.